Sometime in their life, a person becomes dissatisfied and not content with what they have. They seek the satisfaction of their desires through prayer to God. Their mind is gradually purified until they long to know God, more to obtain His grace than satisfy their worldly desires. Then God's grace begins to manifest. God takes the form of a guru, a teacher, and appears to the devotee, teaches them the truth, and moreover, purifies their mind by association. The devotee's mind gains strength and is then able to turn inward. By meditation, it is further purified and remains still, without the least ripple. That calm expanse is the self. The guru is both external and internal. From the exterior, they give a push to the mind to turn it inwards. From the interior, they pull the mind towards the self and help in the quieting of the mind. That is the Guru's grace. There is no difference between God, Guru, and the self. The Master is within. Meditation is meant to remove the ignorant idea that God is on the outside. If he is a stranger whom you await, he is bound to disappear also. What is the use of a transient being like that? But so long as you think that you are separate, or that you are the body, an external master is also necessary, and they will appear to have a body, whether it be a human form or material form. When the wrong identification of oneself with the body ceases, the Master will be found to be none other than the Self. Because you think that you are a body, you think the Guru also has a body, and that they will do something tangible to you. Their work lies within, in the spiritual realm. You ask how the Guru is to be found. God, who is immanent in His grace, takes pity on the loving devotee and manifests according to the devotee's development. The devotee thinks that he is a man or a woman and expects a relationship between two physical bodies. But the Guru, who is God, or the Self incarnate, works from within, helps the person to see the errors of their ways, and guides them on the path until they realize the self within. The mark of a real teacher or Satguru is steady abidance in the self, looking at all with an equal eye, unshakable courage at all times, in all places and circumstances. One should take for one's guru that one where you find you get peace. But one who instructs an ardent seeker to do this or that is not a true master. The seeker is already afflicted by their activities and wants peace and rest. In other words, one wants cessation of their activities. If a teacher tells them to do something in addition to or in place of their other activities, can that be a help to the seeker? Activity is creation. Activity is the destruction of one's inherent happiness. If activity is advocated, the advisor is not a master, but a killer. In such circumstances, either the creator or death may be said to have come in the likeness of a master. Such a person cannot liberate the aspirant. They can only strengthen their bonds. One can find their own guru by intense meditation. Although in absolute truth, the state of the guru is that of oneself, the self. It is very hard for the self, which has become the individual soul through ignorance, to realize its true state or nature without the grace of the Guru. But the marks of the Guru's grace is beyond words or thoughts. It is like the elephant which wakes up when seeing a lion in its dream. Even as the elephant wakes up at the mere sight of the lion, so too is it certain that the disciple wakes up from the sleep of ignorance into the wakefulness of true knowledge through the Guru's benevolent look of grace. First, the individual soul who desires to obtain the state of Godhood or the state of true knowledge practices incessant devotion. When the individual's devotion has reached a mature stage, the Lord, who is the witness of that individual soul and identical with it, manifests. They appear in human form with the help of Sat, Chit, Ananda, or beingness, consciousness, bliss, their three natural features and form and name. which they also graciously assume. In the guise of blessing the disciple, they absolve them in themselves. According to this doctrine, the Guru can truly be called the Lord. You ask how some great persons attain knowledge without a guru. To a few mature persons, the Lord shines as the formless light of knowledge and imparts awareness of the truth. One is the proper guru, to whom your mind is attuned. If you ask how to decide who is the guru and what is their nature, they should be endowed with tranquility, patience, forgiveness, and other virtues. They should be capable of attracting others, even with their eyes. Just as a magnet attracts iron, they should have a feeling of equality towards all. One who has these virtues is the true guru. But if one wants to know the nature of the guru, one must know one's own nature first. How can one know the real nature of the guru if one does not know one's own nature first? If you want to perceive the real nature or form of the guru, you must first learn to look at the whole universe as the form of the guru. One must see the guru in all living beings. It is the same with God. You must look upon all objects as God's form. How can one who does not know their own self perceive the real form of God or the real form of the Guru? How can they determine them? Therefore, first of all, know your own real form and nature. Liberation is not anywhere outside you, it is only within. If a person is anxious for deliverance, the internal guru pulls them in, and the external guru pushes them into the self. This is the grace of the Guru. And I have never said that there is no need for a Guru. But it all depends on what you call a Guru. They need not be in human form. Dattatreya had 24 gurus, including the 5 elements, earth, water, fire, and so on. Every object in his world was his teacher. The guru is absolutely necessary. The Upanishads say that none but a guru can take a person out of the jungle of intellect and sense perceptions. So there must be a guru. I myself had one guru at one time or another. Did I not sing hymns to the mountain Arunachala? What is a guru? Guru is God or the Self. First, a person prays to God to fulfill their desires. But a time comes when they will no longer pray for the fulfillment of material and physical desires, but for God alone. God then appears to them in some form or other, human or non-human, to guide them to themselves in answer to their prayers and according to their needs. The Sadguru, the Guru who is one with being, is within. Surrender and you will find it. That visible Guru says that they are within. The success of your practice is due to the grace of the Guru. The fruits are the result of the practice and follow it automatically. There is a stanza which says, "O Guru, you have been always with me, watching me through several incarnations, and ordaining my course until I was liberated. Self manifests externally as the Guru when the occasion arises. Otherwise, it is always within, doing what is necessary. But the Guru does not bring about self-realization. They simply remove the obstacles to it. The Self is always realized. But so long as you seek self-realization, the Guru is necessary. The Guru is the Self. You take Guru to be the real Self and yourself as the individual Self. The disappearance of this sense of reality is the removal of ignorance. So long as duality persists in you, the Guru is necessary. Because you identify yourself with the body, you think that the Guru is also a body. You are not the body, nor is the Guru. You are the Self, and so is the Guru. This knowledge is gained by what you call self-realization.